Figured I put this video together for us so we can kind of discuss how Follo solves the top 5 coordination pain points for large scale construction projects, and how it's helping the superintendents. Just some use cases of what Follo is all about. So figure we can kind of dive into the platform a little bit, give the superintendents and all the construction field personnel that are out there building the world for us and around us, let them know that there's a tool that's available to help them with those last mile of logistics that can turn chaotic pretty quick. So
yeah, man.
So that's kind of the whole purpose of the video. So thanks for joining, Scotty. I appreciate that. Follo eliminates all these pain points, and one of the first that I would say was the initial use case for Follo was the delivery chaos. And it's probably the most universal, right? It's one of those biggest pain points. You've experienced it. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your experience in the field in construction, and then maybe you can show a little bit about what we're doing with Follo and how we're helping with that pain point.
Yeah, for sure. So with construction, one thing that there's a lot of softwares out there that are already really good at is finding the material, just handling that entire procurement process before it actually gets to the field. So where Follo comes in is that last mile of, hey, I have a delivery, it's coming in at this time through this gate, it's going to this location, and I need to book this equipment to offload it. So that's where the delivery calendar is really helpful. It's a communication tool, and your subcontractors can book a time based on resource availability. So our resources are gates and equipment, and you can set up your project however you want. And whenever someone wants to book a delivery, it's through that gate with that piece of equipment, and the superintendent has approval. So there's kind of 3 checks there.
Right.
So I can run you through that really quick and show you what that looks like.
Yeah, it's I know initially one of the biggest things that when we first started Follo was just keeping it simple for the field. The superintendent that was working with us initially with the first draft and design was all about keeping it simple for everybody to coordinate on, right? So
Yep.
You got all these subcontractors, they're swinging hammers, driving equipment, and the last thing they want to do really is input another data point in a software app, right? So making it
even
simple
before
for them.
that, before that, what you would have is subcontractors or like a delivery board where you might have like a whiteboard out in the field and someone's just writing with a dry erase marker or putting a post-it note up, and it's something that is dynamic and changing, and things slide one way or the other. And so to not get that real-time update is pretty irritating. And it's not like you're out there checking the whiteboard, like the whiteboard's at the field office and you're out in the field. So having it available on mobile was key. And then having it available in an easy format to use for basically every level of tech savviness is number 2. So that's what we've put together.
Right. I remember visiting some family members' job sites, and I'm waiting for us to go to lunch, and I'm waiting, and all of a sudden that family member is getting pissed off because a piece of material never showed up, and he's paying money towards guys, and he's paying money for equipment, and it got rescheduled. He was the last to find out. So I know that. So sometimes the cost of that chaos is real, right? Idle crews, traffic jams, just slows the project down as a whole, and that causes, time is money, right? So
no, for sure. I mean, I've been in the middle of a pretty big concrete pour in my career, and then had a delivery truck full of rebar show up. I'm in the middle of a concrete pour, and then I had to have a guy jump off. And it's something, it's like everyone knew, but nobody really coordinated. Like, we knew that rebar was coming in, but I was focused on the concrete pour. The rebar guys were, off somewhere else fabricating the next pour. And then this thing showed up. And so it's just like one of those things where bad communication. And now with Follo, we're solving that.
Yep. I mean, we're living in perfect time right now where tech is kind of helping the efficiency. I remember I got a lot of family in construction. I remember, do you remember the Nextel pagers? I remember all the construction guys had Nextel pagers and they would beep beep each other in the field. I remember superintendents. I got some family members that were foremen and they were just going off on the Nextel pagers come
Yeah.
Monday morning. So now it's different. We got apps. Follows one of them.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, go ahead, man. As you were saying.
No, so super simple setup. So in here, I can come in, I can build my locations. When I build a location, I can say, hey, this is building number 4. And it's coming through. Gate B is the only way you can access building number 4. And this is the only equipment that's available at building number 4 is those 3 pieces, yeah? So I just put that in. Now building 4 is gate B. And so now when a user selects something for building 4, say I'm bringing in a delivery for building 4, let's go ahead and do one. I come in here, I'm going to say fire piping for building 4. I can create a template if I want up here. I can tag whoever I want.
So invite anybody on the project, basically. Unlimited
Exactly.
users. You can invite everybody. So all
Exactly.
the
I select
subs,
building 4. You can see everything I got here is I got the gate. Gate B is my only option. And only the equipment that I had was there. And we have a default no equipment needed option if, you know, they're going to offload themselves or something like that. So if I book these things right here, I can see that on Monday, the 22nd, I have a few booked slots. Let's go see what's happening on the 23rd. Okay. I'm going to go for 9:30. Is it
you can
recurring?
plan around everybody else's booked schedule of other materials, other resources that are tied up. All that is, the system is smart enough to pick up on that, is basically what I'm seeing.
That's
Is that right?
exactly it. Yep. And so now you can see my delivery right here on the calendar. I can go to the week view,
Right.
fire piping for building 4. And I have that as a superintendent. I can see that on mobile and know what deliveries are coming through at different times. I can know that on the 24th, I have a slab on grade pour from 7 to 2. You know, just all the kind of like things that you might not see in your Outlook calendar that are field related.
Yeah. So I know you and I have talked about this in the past, like over the weekend, come Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We've been invited to some projects because we help with just like onboarding sometimes. Come Sunday afternoon, all of a sudden you're getting notifications of all the subs starting to plan for that Monday morning sub meeting. And they're starting to add all their deliveries and all their things for their next week's tasks.
That's exactly right. And that's what a nice thing to have, right? Is forcing yourself to get it in there, and that creates that accountability, not just between the sub, but the GC too. So now the sub saying, hey, you approved my delivery and I brought it in this time. But also it's forcing the conversation if that's not a good time or the equipment's not available, but that's the only time, right? That someone can bring it in. And so it's just forcing that. And so it's super easy to stay connected and chat within the system.
That's right. That's right. And that's where, you know, before Follo, I felt like delivery coordination seemed very reactive. And now with Follo, it's more predictable. You can start planning and be a lot more efficient with the task ahead in the immediate future.
Absolutely. A little bit of planning goes a long way.
All right, cool. Perfect. All right. So now crane times. I hear there's a lot of battles that can happen with crane. You know, crane picks, crane time, that's a very expensive piece of equipment that's on site. So being efficient is important. I've been at some projects where some of the guys that are signing up for crane time are walking across the entire project. It's like a half acre or an acre size of a project site. They're walking into the field office. There's a clipboard that's hanging. They take the clipboard off and they sign their time and their name of when they want a crane pick.
Right.
So, I mean, in my mind, I feel like that's very inefficient. But now, here we are. We got Follo.
It's exactly the same process. So for cranes, you're going to have the exact same booking mechanism. But say I want to book time on on a tower crane, I can come to my calendar. I can go to my crane calendar. I can add a booking. I want to say, hey, mechanical company, whatever, AHU pick.
Right.
I don't know. Tag whoever you want to be tagged.
Unlimited users, right?
Select the location. Let's say in this case, it's building 1. I'm bringing it in through gate A, and then I want it immediately offloaded off the truck.
Right.
I come down here, tower crane A. Perfect. Picking from ground level to level 5. I'm just putting an example in.
Right. Right.
All right, and that's showing up. Oh man, Wednesday, it's Christmas Eve. I can't do it that day. Okay, let's see about Christmas. Okay, Christmas is open. Okay, I want to do it at 10 a.m. to 10:45. It should take about, right? So then I just submit that, and boom.
One of the superintendents was like, "Hey man, you got rid of my whiteboard for all the deliveries. You know, my subs are fighting over crane and we're using a whiteboard for that. Can you basically come up with the crane calendar as well?" And that's kind of what invented the whole crane calendar on our, so we got those 4 calendars, right? That's
right.
That was the first pain point, was delivery. Second pain point was just crane times and subs fighting over it. You know, there's the superintendents get to manage their site accordingly and approve it, right? So can you talk about the 3 levels of authority that we have in the system?
Yeah, for sure. So anytime that you're inviting a member to the platform, you're going to set them up with whatever permissions that you want them to have. So let's say I invite a member here. Whoever I invent, let's say I'm going to invent oh, you're already in here, dang. Isidro at hotmail.com. All right, so I just select your company. Let's say you're with Alliance, and then I can select general contractor, project admin, or subcontractor. So general contractor is 1 below project admin. Subcontractor is 1 below general contractor. So subcontractor is someone that's just going to go in there. They're going to have only the ability to see what's happening on site and submit requests. And then the general contractor, they have those permissions, plus they can add more people to the platform. Project admin, they're like the god-like person in the platform who can set all of the settings,
Right.
change things, approve things, anything like that. So you can have multiple of, you know, every kind, obviously, unlimited users.
Right.
And that allows for multiple people. Like if you're a superintendent on one building versus a superintendent on another building, to have that power of approval still.
I like that. So subs get to request their delivery times or pick times. Follows kind of, it's already built in where it's smart enough to recognize those conflicts, but ultimate control, the admin, basically top tier, can kind of make last minute judgment calls on things that need to be rearranged. So they have the full authority to change, edit, approve.
That's it.
That's basic. So all that in my mind just leads to more efficiency, fewer arguments, more production, and, you know, less idle time that's happening with this crane. Less fight.
You're stacking everything through at the right times with the right stuff, and your crane operator can be in here approving things too, right? Like, if he's going to be on a roll, you're not going to stop him. Like, you know, you might have a time on a project where this steel contractor has a tower crane for, you know, a couple of days a week from you know 10 to 2, and then the only time other guys can get picks is from 7 to 10 or something like that in the morning, or, you know, 1 hour in the afternoon. And so that's kind of like, you can set it up that way so that guys can book those times. So it's really a helpful thing, and with it, we've had a ton of success, especially in downtown areas with projects that have like multiple tower cranes and multiple buildings. This has been a huge success with them.
Amazing. All right. So pain point number 3, concrete placements and the complexity that comes along with that. You know, there's a lot of moving parts with concrete. There's timing is of the essence, managing you know, how the mixing trucks are coming in, where the pump goes. From my understanding, it's one of the highest risk activities on the project. I know you've had some experience with some of the ones that you've told me a couple of stories. We might
Yeah,
not
I had
want
some nightmares. Yeah,
yeah, some
I
nightmares
won't
regarding
discredit
concrete.
myself.
Yeah. But you know, overall, it sounds like, you know, there's a lot of those last mile logistics that can really impact a smooth concrete pour or not. So do you mind kind of jumping in and talking a little bit about
Yeah.
how we
So
created the
it's going
concrete
to be the
calendar?
same thing for let me just filter for concrete so you can see everything. So it's going to be the same exact workflow. So whether you're self-performing or if you're subbing out your concrete, it works for either, and it's just a nice way to have that visibility. So with the concrete calendar, let's say, you know, I'm pouring, I don't know, building 1, slab on grade, select building 1, I don't know, grid line A to B if I have additional locations. I'm coming in through gate A, and I want gate A to be shut down too. So I have my settings, which I can show you as well. Just set that I'm closing this gate off. No one else is coming through this gate while I'm pouring this concrete.
I like it.
I don't need any
God mode
equipment.
right there. That's God mode.
Yeah. I don't need to book any equipment,
Right.
so that's good. I can tag whoever's involved. In this case, it's just John Doe. Let's go to the day. I'm going to do a Monday the 29th, you know. I'm going from 7 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m.
Okay.
Probably reasonable pour, right?
Right.
Type in whatever mix design. Type in my order number if I want. This stuff all comes in handy when you're looking at your phone and the concrete tickets from the driver show up, and you can see them and say, hey, this is the right mix design, this is the right order number.
Yeah.
Right slump. It's just
In the
nice to have
field,
those notes.
yeah, in the field, you can access the details at the palm of your hand, basically, is what you're saying. Instead of walking back, opening up an Excel spreadsheet that's living in a laptop or a PC somewhere.
Exactly. And so I got my truck spacing. I'm saying, hey, I want a truck every 10 minutes. I'm ordering, you know, I don't know, say 100 yards. Most of this concrete pour is going to be finishing, so that's why it's going to take so long. Primer order for the pump if I need it, whatever. Hey, did someone actually call and order the concrete?
Right.
I've had that happen before too, where we all thought it was scheduled, we're all primed up, and it's like, yeah, oops. I know.
Didn't confirm it.
Right. And then, hey, I do need a pump. I need 25 meter. Boom, it's right there. Pump ordered. All right, I ordered the pump that day. Pump location, blah, blah, blah. And confirmed. Let's just say adjacent to, I don't know, whatever information you want.
Right.
Since I'm starting the pour at 7, I want this thing to come in at 6. And then let's say it's going to be done here at 3.
Right.
And then that's it, man. I can submit that.
And that's the placeholder for that day of that concrete placement that's coming in.
That's exactly it. So
you got
now
all the
if I go to
checklist items that you've done that you're kind of just having as a second gatekeeper of like making sure that it's going to pour, it's the right mix design, everything's lined up for it to be done at the right day and time.
Exactly. And now whenever I try and go book something else through this gate, someone's going to know there's a concrete pour. And so don't bring anything else through that gate while I'm bringing concrete trucks in, because you're going to cause a traffic jam.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the last thing you want is an 18-wheeler of materials trying to show up when you're pouring concrete in that same gate. So instead of chaos, you get controlled, documented execution of a critical path activity. Did I say that right? Does that sound smooth enough?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, sweet. All right, so pain point number 4, inspections. You know, again, Follo was designed by the field perspective. All the superintendents' insights. It was designed by a superintendent for superintendents, for the trades, for the foremen, all to like collaborate on one simple, easy to use system. Inspections, you know, there's a lot of them going on in the field, right? So collaborating, whether it's a material or a QC or whatever specific inspection, who needs to be there, that takes some complexity and coordination as well. So do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So you can actually add your inspectors into Follo just to be approvers too. So one thing that might happen, a real life scenario, and why we got asked to add this calendar as well, was because they had a lot of like county inspectors that had to come to the job and inspect the rebar for their concrete pours. And so they wanted to put the concrete pour in, and then they wanted to make sure that a day before they had the rebar scheduled, or 2 days before, whatever it was. And so they actually added the county inspector into the project as an approver, and then the request would go straight to them on their Follo app as well. So that's a pretty realistic scenario. Another one could just be QC, like subcontractor. Hey, I want general contractor, I want to book a QC meeting this day. Like, send a request, make sure you're not busy so that you're out there, and then maybe the owner's out there with you, etc. So you can tag everyone you want. Same exact workflow as you've seen before, but it's going to be.
So on the web, it's the same. Mobile device, very consistent formatting. So there's no major learning curve if you're on your laptop, or if you open up your iPhone or your Samsung, it'll still be the same workflow, right?
Exactly. I'm just saying, hey, I want a QC inspection. It's for my company, Follo. We're doing flooring and tile. Tag whoever I want. It's going to be at building 2. Come through. Gate is irrelevant. And I'm not going to need any equipment for this one. I just need to book your time. So I want to do that on Christmas Day. We'll do it not on Christmas. We'll do it 7 a.m. on Christmas for an hour. That's it.
Okay. And if there is equipment, I know we've had harness as an option where you can add it. I mean, sometimes you need those safety harnesses when you're inspecting those high level skyscrapers, right? So there's things that you can build out and customize in the system. It sounds like once the inspection's approved, from as far as the details of it being a pass or a fail can be indicated in the booking card. You can upload photos. Everything gets time stamped and dated for auditory purposes. Auditable history is there visually available.
Exactly. So a concrete pour, I could come in and I could mark it as complete. I could add attachments, pictures of, my tickets, my concrete tickets, any comments like, oh, truck 3 showed up, just like things I want to remember for the future. John Doe, it's going to have the whole history. John Doe created, Jim Smith approved, whatever it is. And then mark it as complete, etc. Same with inspections. You can mark them as passed, failed. Deliveries, you mark them as complete. Any comments like, hey, this was damaged, anything like that. So kind of a nice way to keep track.
All those updates happen in the field through your device as well, mobile, right? I mean, you're literally just getting notifications, a push notification at the top of your cell phone, or maybe you're doing a field walk and you're a superintendent and you're getting pinged for an approval of something. You can reference it and approve it right there on the spot, on the fly. So I think all this kind of summarizes, that 5th major pain point, which is like a summary of everything. When logistics go bad in the field, from the last few years that we've been putting together, Follo with the experts in the field, it really comes down to like communication breakdowns. And that's like the 5th pain point, in my opinion, that we've, for the topic of the video. And it's one of the biggest ones of all, is miscommunication. So,
oh yeah, for sure. It's easy to use, increases your communication, and well, I mean, we're getting 80% trade adoption across the project. So we know that the subs are using it. So, and that is a huge hurdle in construction tech, is to get in the entire job site to use it. So I'm pretty proud of us for that.
Yep. I mean, the alternative is you got a field team that's unprepared, work is kind of getting delayed, schedules are getting pushed. And ultimately, it seems like superintendent's kind of the one that has to manage it all and pull it all together to clean things up if there is a miscommunication gap. So overall, with confidence, I can say that Follo is there to help reduce stress and kind of just changes the way that the teams in the field are collaborating. Would you agree?
100%.
All right, cool. Well, I'm good, man. I'm glad you were able to join us on the video and give us a little tutorial of Follo and how we're building it.
All day.
Yeah, we covered some of the top 5 major pain points that we've seen superintendents and field teams experience, and how Follo is combating those chaotic situations in the field just to kind of make things a little bit more productive. If any of the viewers have liked what they've seen and they would like to see it more in action and we can jump into the details, please comment demo in the comments below or send us a DM of demo and we'll be happy to schedule that. If you are comfortable with hearing and ready to get it launched on your project, we'll do a free trial. You can also comment trial in the comments below or send us a DM of trial, and we'll be happy to get you going with the free trial and we can jump into the details and get your team onboarded. So thanks for joining us on our video, Scotty. Ideally, we're going to be doing more of these. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right,
yes,
let's
sir.
go. All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.